This has been quite the year for touring. You got Beyonce, you got Janet, you got Shania Twain. Madonna's getting ready to go out on fucking tour. Like, this is a year. And these ladies are breaking records so far. Like, Beyonce and Janet. Let's start with Beyonce. So her tour, Renaissance Tour, it kicked off recently. The staging to that bitch is fucking insane. It's probably the most impressive staging I've seen from anybody. It is huge. Like, if anything, it's probably too big. But if anybody can do that, it's definitely Beyonce, yo. Like, I'm not like a Beyonce fan to that extent. I do enjoy her music, the singles and stuff. The only album I actually ever bought or even have of hers is the self-titled one. Other than that, you know, I always look forward to her stuff because she really presents something like a full project, yo. Like, nobody has done that since like Janet and Michael, where they make a visual album. I know Fergie did that recently too, but it's very rare these days that artists put in that amount of effort. And I so appreciate when they do that. She is definitely today's like Michael. How big her production is. It's fucking insane. The set list for me, you know, it's whatever. I think that's more so for the fan base because a lot of people say the same for Janet's concerts. Like, I've gone to Janet's concerts, every single one since the Rock With You tour. And there's songs in there that aren't singles, that are album cuts. And other people who are just, you know, not really like hardcore fans, but they just enjoy like the singles and shit, they're kind of bored through those moments, but yet those moments is like, it means everything to us fans, right? So I think that for me is the case for the Beyonce tour. Anyways, putting aside my shit, so Beyonce's breaking records right now. She had the largest audience this century for a female artist at the Belgium stadium there that she went to, with 53,000 fans. That's insane. Like, that is impressive as fuck. And that's all I gotta say with this tour. Like, I am so loving how advanced technology is, and like, you know, we came a long way with tours, and I think these ladies are giving us the big production that, I don't know, I've never gone to a fucking Drake concert or like a Kanye concert. I went to Lil Wayne. It was actually quite big, but yet in comparison to like Janet, to Britney, to Shania, to like all these others that I went to, I'd find women tend to put on more of a show production wise and in full from beginning to end, more so than men do. I mean, putting aside Michael, obviously, right? But I don't know. I find they just put in more fucking work, yo, and they really, like, every detail, every second, every hit and count, everything. It's like, it's big. I have a feeling that it's just going to continue to break records. I think all these ladies are going to continue to break records. But then Janet as well, she broke her own record. This is her best-selling tour ever. Like, she's 100% fucking sold out. And that's crazy. You know, because I'll be honest, there was a point in time when I went to the Rock With You tour, it wasn't as big of a hype. And seats were still available. Tickets weren't selling like they are now, let's say. But it wasn't just Janet, it was also other people. Like, I went to see Gwen Stefani and Eve a couple years back, and tickets were on Groupon and shit because they just weren't really selling, I guess. But when I was there were lots of seats available in like the front section area. So my sister and we were able to actually sneak in to the front area and sit there closer. Anyways, it was a great show, regardless of the ticket sales. But anyways, I just find tickets weren't really selling for a lot of artists at one point. But now it's like they're breaking fucking records at this age and this time. Like, that's so fucking good. And I'm so happy for them. They deserve it, man. Like, especially Janet, yo. She's been through it. And, you know, she's been blacklisted. And yet she still managed to tour and be successful. And now, even so, after all these years, she's breaking records of her own. Like, this is 100% fucking sold out. And the staging, I love the staging in her tour. It's very simple, but it's like, it's I don't know, there's something very intimate about it, but also sparkly. I don't know how else to fucking say it. There's just a nice feel and look to the staging for the Together Again tour. Others may think differently from what I'm reading in the comments and shit on post. But regardless, it doesn't fucking matter. She sold tickets. Like, she's completely fucking sold out. And Lil' Kim recently joined her on tour, which was adorable. You've seen the video of her talking and just like fangirling over Janet. Like, we would all be the fuck. I'd probably pass out. But anyways, it was just very sweet to kind of see her in fan mode and just appreciate and love Janet. She opened up for her on a stop. I think it's just one stop or maybe two. I have no idea, but for sure it was one. Now, I love me some Kim. Little Kim was my first rap album that I bought. But I just wish that she would put her shows together better. Because that shit at fucking the Lovers and Friends shit, you know, she's a meme again. Keeps becoming a fucking meme. Look, and Kim deserves so much better than that, even though I love the fucking memes. She deserves a better production. She has fucking crazy hits. Her set list and the mix, the transitions and shit, I just wish it was done more professionally. That's my only complaints about that. Other than that, I'm glad as fuck that Kim is still here making music, performing, giving us shows. Her performance, I find, was way better in like early 2000s. She was really at her like top. She had this presence that she just dominated, and she was just, I don't know, so into it. Compared to now it's more free. She's having fun, and it's just can be a tad messy sometimes. But that's just me being a choreographer, and I like to see things kind of intact. But that's just me being critical, and that's why I really enjoy like Janet and Beyonce, because their shows are so clean and tight. Especially Janet. Janet's like my number one when it comes to stage presence and performance. Everything is on fucking point. I follow a number of these dancers that dance for her throughout the years. They've also danced for like J-Lo, Britney, Christina, like all these other people, right? And I've asked them who was the most complicated in learning dance routines, and they all said Janet, because it's so like everything's technical, everything's so like there's these little specifics, these details that you wouldn't really see just watching the videos or such, but learning it, there's like these little things that anyways, it's pretty interesting to know that there's a lot that goes into her choreography. And even Madonna puts on one hell of a fucking show, so I'm excited to see what she does with her tour. It's gonna kick off soon. I think Kylie Dean and Latrell are singing backup for her. I don't know if they're going on tour with her, but I think they're currently working on backgrounds. They're working on the tour, setting it up at the moment, so I'm excited to see what comes from this tour with Madonna. Madonna goes fucking in on every tour. Yo, she goes big. So the fact that Beyonce's tour is this big, I wonder how big Madonna's gonna go.